Hello guys and welcome to my new video, and today we're going to talk about Florida and how Florida shifted to be a 1 point Democrat state and now to a 13 points Republican state. Basically 14 points in about 12 years, and that is just impressive. And that is just I don't have words to explain how no I do have some ideas to explain how Florida went to a like this state for to now Trump won by 13, but it's just impressive to see the Republicans work in so many years. And in 12 years they basically shifted one of the most swing states in America. You remember Bush v. Gore in 2000, and now it's just gone. We don't have any competitiveness in Florida, and it was projected in 2024 at polls close, and that is just impressive, I would say that way. You can see the key for the Democrats in Florida is you do have Miami, you do have Orlando, and also Tampa, the Eiffel quota. You have here the Eiffel quota. That's a very important area for any Democrat to run up the margins, and the close races are decided there. You also have here in Tallahassee. But when Biden came in, we thought, okay, Jacksonville, it is Republican by 4, then Trump won it and we survived 1, and then Biden won it by 4. And then you thought, oh, Biden, maybe Jacksonville is shifting. Gone. But Trump by 2. I know it wasn't the biggest shift ever, but still, Jacksonville was one of the problems, because this Jacksonville is not only the city of Jacksonville. You also had the suburbs to the south, the suburbs to the north. Suburbs to the north are very conservative, as you can see here. And we thought that maybe Florida can go to Biden in 2020, and it didn't happen. Part of the reason why Florida shifted the most is Miami-Dade County. It's the county just here. It's the biggest county in the state. More than 13% of the population comes from right here in Miami-Dade. It's the city of Miami, as you know, one of the most beautiful cities in America as well. And Obama won it by 24 points. So that's 24 points. It is 25 points if you rounded up both candidates. 25 points. Hillary Clinton won here by 30 points. And then Biden won only by 9, and then Trump won it by 11. From a 30-point win to the Democrats to an 11-point win for the Republicans. That's a 41-point shift in only 12 years. And that was part of the reasons why Florida was the margin it was. Like, Clinton did the job here, but then Trump was just so strong in all the rural areas, especially here around alongside the Panhandle. And that was part also of this history, because Hillary Clinton thought, okay, look, one of the great examples of Hillary Clinton's failure in 2016 is really Pinellas County, because she thought, okay, we did so great in the early vote, there's nothing can beat us, basically. And Pinellas County went for Trump by 1.1 point, because there were some Democrats in that day, that went to the streets seeing all the MAGA hats and people going into voting, and they said we're fucked. And basically they were fucked at that point, because they lost the state by 1.2 points. But that was not part. But this was still competitive. Say 1.2 points is it's Florida standards. I know it won for Trump, but still it was Florida standards. And it comes to 2020, people thought, oh, maybe it's this time that Biden is going to win Florida because of all the nobody likes Trump, and probably Biden can win Florida. That didn't happen. It was in fact an humiliation, I would say, for Biden, because he lost by 4 points in a state that was swing state previously. But Trump said sometimes that Miami-Dade is probably they're gonna do great there. That's what Trump's campaign said. They're gonna do great there with Latino, especially Latino man, and that was part of the truth part here in Miami-Dade. They won by 9 points. They lost by 9 points, but it wasn't a significant improvement. Look, Biden got here a net of 80,000 votes, 90,000 if you round it up, and Clinton got a 290,000. So that's a difference of 200,000. Even with Miami-Dade, it wouldn't be enough, because you see here the shifts. Look at the shifts. Miami-Dade shifted 22 points, and it was not only Miami-Dade but also Fort Lauderdale, which is Broad County, also Palm Beach County, where Trump lives right now, also Osceola County. Osceola County is what? What is Osceola County? Osceola County is where the most percentage of Latino population is in the state of Florida, and he shifted 11 points to Trump in a year that Trump was supposed to lose a lot. Of course, you have the suburbs. Look at the suburbs here around Jacksonville. 7 points. Also in Nassau County, also Duval County. But still, it wasn't enough, because when you come to Orlando, 1.3 points from more Republican. You come to Tampa, basically 0-0. And this was the area here around Tampa that Biden needed to do huge gains to overcome the percentages that Trump will get in the rural parts. And basically he didn't. He did the same as Hillary Clinton, or slightly better in places like Pinellas County. But he should be winning Pinellas by a bigger margin. Pinellas, St. Petersburg should be by a bigger margin. It wasn't. You go to a place like LSU County, or LSU, I don't know how to say it, 5 points more Democratic. Also, you can see the Panhandle going more Democratic, as you can see, 5, 6, 8 points, 4 points. But this was part of the story. Also, in a special election we got this year, I think in April, the Florida, I don't know if it's first or sixth district here, but the Democratic, I know it's just a special election, but the Democratic candidate won Escambia County. That's Pensacola. That was impressive. At least for me, it was impressive. For many Republicans, they don't care because it just doesn't matter. But still, it's a surprise given the composition of the district. They were very competitive, at least the Democrats there. You also had a lot of problems because this didn't happen. This nightmare for the Democrats by 13 points didn't happen just in a vacuum. You can see Democrats didn't have the best candidates in Florida in the last 2 years because you see in the gubernatorial races they got Andrew Gillum in 2018. He was not the best candidate, to be honest. I don't have anything against him, but he was not the best candidate the Democrats could have against Ron DeSantis. It was a blue wave year, and even the Republicans won both the Senate, a pickup for the Democrats against Bill Nelson. And also in the gubernatorial race, Ron DeSantis won against a Democrat challenger from Tallahassee. He was the mayor of Tallahassee, and also Ron DeSantis. I'm sorry, not Ron DeSantis. The Republican governor Rick Scott that was running for Senate, but he was a governor. He was not popular at all in Florida, and the Republicans still won the state. But then you come back to 2022. Ron DeSantis won Florida by 20 points. 20 points in Florida. That was just huge. He won Palm Beach County. He won Miami-Dade by I think 19 or something. He won a lot of those counties. Even Orlando, he was below 10 points. And that was impressive. And that was the first sign we saw, okay, Florida, maybe now it's not the time that we go to Florida. But Biden went to Florida a lot of times in 2020. But then in 2024, the Democrats gave up in Florida. Also in gubernatorial races, they decided not to pour any money there because they're going to lose the state. That doesn't matter. And I think that's a problem. Democrats didn't have great candidates in Florida. That's one problem. In 2022, I think it was Debbie Powell or something. I think she was the candidate for the Democratic Party in Florida, and she did terrible, as you know. But I think it was not her problem. I think the damage was already done, especially in the 2020 with the pandemic. A lot of people went to Florida because of all the restrictions that New York and California, all the Democratic states had during that period. I'm not saying those restrictions were great or were bad. I'm not saying my opinion. I'm just saying the facts. And the facts are Florida gained over 2 million people in 2020 just because of that. And that was part of the story why Florida is now getting a 4 seats addition in the 2030 census, and also Texas is getting 4 seats also, and New York and California and all the other states are getting smaller and smaller seats. That is in part because of the people are changing and are moving to right-leaning states, if you call it that way, to Texas, to Florida, to Georgia, to Alabama, to all of those states. Because I'm not saying they have a better quality of life. I'm just saying you look at the prices of housing in Florida. Those are better prices. Still now a very high price because of all the people moving in a very short period of time in 2020. Now the prices have gone up a lot, but still it was affordable at that point when people came in Florida. Also in 2000 and also in Texas, same thing. Prices are now going down in Austin, especially in Austin, 7% down year over year. And I think that's part of the true part about Florida is the Democratic Party gave up in Florida, and I think it's going to be a red state for a long time. I think it can swing even more to the right, can swing even more to the right in the next election. I think, especially with the flip of Palm Beach County. Kamala won by 6,000 votes, so that is a very easy to flip. Also, the registration here for the Democratic Party is almost flipping to the Republican Party as well. But that was part of the question. You see here, look at this. It was a map full of red arrows. 15 points in Osceola, 19 points in Miami-Dade. I just want to check something to see the biggest one in terms of shift. But Osceola could be the biggest one. It was not. I'm sorry. It was Miami-Dade. But then Indre, Osceola, Broad. You check this, and these counties, what do they have in common? They have a huge percentage of Latino population. That is what they have in common. That is why Trump did so much better, because the Republican Party is running ads in places like Miami and also Fort Lauderdale and also Palm Beach County. They're saying like, look, Democrats are communists. Democrats are socialists. You ran from a socialist country like, I would say, like Venezuela or Colombia or Nicaragua, and now you're going to the United States. Do you want to vote in those communist guys, because those are socialist ideas, and they put together in 2020 a lot of ads mixed in with Joe Biden. He's saying that he likes socialist ideas. I mean, that is not true at all, but still, it worked in 2020, and it looks like it's working again in 2024. It's probably gonna work in the future, and people are now voting the Republican Party because of that. 13 points was a huge win in Florida, even for me, but that was just part of the problem. I think the Democrats need to give up in Florida because they don't have any chance of winning it in a near time, and that's just the true part about Florida. We'll see you next. So don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.